What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be speed running to win a Super Bowl as the New York Jets. This is my second attempt. As you can see, all the sliders are just regular. So if you want to do this challenge for yourself, all you have to do is have on all the default settings, turn coach firing off, and then play as the New York Jets and try to win a Super Bowl as fast as possible. So the time starts now. And the strategy here is pretty simple for the Jets. We need a new quarterback, and we need to trade away our aging pieces like Davis and Fitzpatrick. But this team is set up pretty nice. They have some good pieces on the offensive line, and obviously you got Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. But the first thing that we got to do is trade away Minka Fitzpatrick. See if we can get as much as we possibly can here. Maybe the Bills. The goal would be to get 2 first-round picks, but we're probably only going to be able to get 1. And maybe a third. Probably a fourth. Okay, we did end up getting a first-round pick for Minka Fitzpatrick. Obviously, that trade would not happen in real life. He is nowhere near the value of a first-round pick. But you know that we're not going for realism here. We're going for as much value as possible. We're going to try to manipulate Madden as much as we can here to try to get the best picks possible. And we're going to use these picks to eventually compound into more first-round picks so that we can eventually trade for players. We're going to take the 49ers first-round pick here. So that's 2 first-round picks. And now the team is looking real bad. You got no pieces on offense, no pieces on defense. We're going to end up starting Klubnik over Smith. And we do have David Bailey, but you don't have a whole lot going on here. We're going to try to develop some of these guys that are rookies. So we're going to put Pons as our starting corner just so we can get as much development out of him as possible. He can become a good piece for us. But this is not going to be a great season for the Jets in real life or in this game, especially without Demario Davis and Minka Fitzpatrick. So hopefully we get a really, really bad record so that we can get, hopefully, the first overall pick. So that we can end up trading that for multiple first-round picks, and that's what we're going to do with all of our first-round picks here. The Jets, since they traded away Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, they have multiple first-round picks in the upcoming draft in this game and in real life. And we were able to get 2 more first-round picks from Fitzpatrick and Davis. So we have a lot of first-round picks to work with here. And we're going to be able to compound those into a lot more value. And hopefully, I'm looking for at most 3 wins here. I think on my first attempt we went 5-12, which was enough to give us the 6th overall pick. I am looking for more than that. We went 5-12 once again. Klubnik did upgrade a little bit. We did get some upgrades to David Bailey and D'Angelo Pons, which is nice. But not the greatest start in the world going 5-12. We're just going to sim to the offseason. We're going to have a ton of money to spend in free agency. But it's going to be very hard to sign free agents because we did go 5-12. We're not a very good team, so these free agents are not likely going to want to choose to be a New York Jet. But who knows? So we'll have to see here. See if there's anyone that we want to re-sign. are going to pick up Fashnu's 5th-year option. And no one else here is worth re-signing, so we're just going to go to the free agency frenzy and sign as many big name defenders as possible, because ultimately that's where I want to try to build. And this is not a good free agency class at all, but I am going to try to get Grant Delpit. Usually there's a lot better players here, so this is a little bit concerning that there's not a whole lot of good players, but I was able to get Delpit on my last attempt. And Ed Oliver, so we're going to try to get him as well. We're going to have to give him a lot of money, a lot more than he's worth, in order for him to join the New York Jets. So we'll have to see if he will join us as well. We're not going to be able to get a quantity. I'm not even going to try it. I don't think offensive line is really going to be my focus here. I'd rather get a guy like Kobe Durant. I feel like he could be a good depth piece for us going forward. And then I am going to try to get Okereke on probably a 2-year deal. That's fine. Okay. I think that's all we can do. Let's see who we get. We get nobody, I think. I don't think we signed anybody. Yeah, we didn't sign anybody, which is awesome. I'm just going to skip this free agency entirely. So I did waste a lot of time getting absolutely nobody here, but we're going to have to trade all of our first round picks for even more picks in future drafts so that we can stock up on those to use to trade for players. We do have the 5th overall pick, which is pretty nice. Hopefully we can get 3 first round picks here. I'm looking at the Seahawks. They're willing to give us 3. And I think that's probably going to be the offer that we're going to have to take, except it's probably the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles offer instead. And we have the 8th pick as well, which is nice. Hopefully we can get 2 or 3. The Seahawks offering us 3 once again, and that's what we're going to take. Very good start here. We have the 16th pick. We should be able to get 2 first round picks for this one. I like the Rams offer, but I also like the Vikings offer because I think that they're going to be a worse team. I think Falcons are in the lead now, and that's what I will take. We also have the 28th pick. The Vikings are willing to give us 2 first round picks, which is very odd, I think. So are the Packers. doesn't look like we're going to be able to get 2 first-round picks from this one. But I like the Texans offer. We'll take that. We have 2 more picks left in this first round. The Rams offer looks nice. The Patriots offer looks nice. I think I'm going to take the Chargers offer here. Very good value. And then after I trade this pick, I'm just going to sim the rest of the draft. And hopefully the CPU picked me some good players here. They usually do. And we're set up pretty nicely for the rest of the speed run. I think maybe what we do is we spend 1 more year as a bad team. Hopefully we can get some good players in free agency next year, and then we'll be able to trade for some big names, like perhaps a quarterback, because Klubnik is not going to cut it. I like where our offensive line is. Hopefully our receivers will keep developing. The defense is going to need a whole lot of help, though. Yeah, we did not have a great start in free agency. It was just a very bad free agency class. Very unusually bad free agency class. But we have a lot of first round picks. So hopefully we can just have 1 more bad year, get some good free agents, trade for some guys, and then we'll be able to be in a good position to hopefully win a Super Bowl in year 3. But I'm not sure if that's going to be able to happen, because this is not a great start in terms of development or free agency. And I think that we're still at least 2 years away from being competitive. We're not going to make the playoffs this year, obviously. Not with Klubnik at quarterback. But I think we're definitely on the way. Just a few more weeks left to sim, and I'm going to guess that we probably went 4-12. I think that we ended up being worse. Or 4-13, rather. 1-16. Wow, we were like one of the worst teams of all time, which I'm honestly not all that mad about, because we're going to have the first overall pick. And with that first overall pick, we can get a lot more picks. And it looks like Bailey and Pons are developing pretty well. Klubnik is bad, but that's fine. We have a lot of first round picks in this draft that we're going to be able to trade away. Then we're going to have a ton, probably a dozen at least, first round picks in next year's draft that we can use to trade for players, specifically a quarterback. But we are not going to be able to get a whole lot of free agents here because we were terrible. No one is going to want to play for this team. And that's okay. Maybe we can overpay for some of these guys. And we can sign somebody, unlike last offseason. But we'll have to see. Lots of good options here. And we have $120 million in cap space. Trevin Wallace is someone that I'm looking at right away here. He does want to play with a playoff contender. And seems like he wants to play for us. This would be a big get if we were able to get Wallace here. There's a lot of good offensive linemen here. And I think it would be worth it to try to take a swing on one of them. Especially on Wenu. It seems like we're negotiating with these guys pretty easily here. Chris Jones is too old, I think. I think getting Jalen Waddle would be a nice get. It seems like no one is negotiating with Jalen Johnson. That would be a nice get to pair him. With D'Angelo Pons. It looks like total contract value is what he likes, so we'll raise the bonus there. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Johnson. Okay. We did get to 100% interest, which is very nice. I think a safety would be nice to get. Nick Bolton would also be very nice to get. I'll try to see if I can get him, but I doubt it. Try to do this quickly. I doubt that we get Bolton, but Bryce Young is available somehow. I'm going to try to get Bryce Young. He's definitely better than Klubnik. And he develops pretty well in this game. So getting Bryce Young would be a huge get, but I doubt that we get him. A lot of teams interested in him. Let's see what else we can do here. Might as well try to get Chris Jones just for the heck of it. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of people interested in him. Would like to get him for 2 years if possible. Okay, very nice. Okay. Alright, we'll see what this does. We were able to get Jalen Johnson, Owenu, and Chris Jones. So this is huge, actually. We were not able to get Bryce Young, but that's okay. I would actually like you to be a left guard. So we're looking pretty okay here. We just need a quarterback, which we'll be able to get next year probably, if we're able to trade for one. Our wide receiver core is fine. I think the offense as a whole looks fine. We'll fix that later. But we need some more guys on the defense here. Maybe another corner. Definitely a safety. See if we can snag anybody here. You know what? I don't think we need it. I like the pieces that we added here. And I'm just going to go to the draft. I think that we've built something nice here. If we're able to trade for a quarterback here, I'm going to try it because we do have the first overall pick. unless someone went 0-17. Okay, no. So we have the first, fourth. We have 3 picks in the top 10. So this could be something. If we're able to trade for a guy like Joe Burrow, which we're not, or Jamar Chase, I think we're too early for that, but maybe we can find a team where it works out, but probably not. Herbert doesn't work. Mahomes doesn't work. Hmm. I don't think that we're going to be able to find anybody at this very moment. Yeah, no. Anyone else? I know Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson develops like crazy in this game. So I'm going to try to get him and 3 firsts. Perfect. I like that a lot. Now we can just try to get 3 first round picks here. The Lions offer looks good. The Chargers offer looks good. I'm going to go with the Chargers offer. And we're just going to continue to rack up first round picks. The Vikings offer looks good. The Raiders offer looks good. I'm going to go with the Raiders offer. Texans looks good. All right. Probably going to take the Packers offer here. The Bills are offering 2 first round picks. So are the Lions and the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers offer, I think. See if there's anyone else that'll give us 2 first round picks. It doesn't look like it. So we'll see if we can draft anyone here that we want. And I'm looking at this center, and centers are usually always great value. But that was not a great one. We'll see what else is available. There's a Mike linebacker here. There's another center. I'm just going to take another center because this will lock down our offensive line for the future. And this is fine. I'm just going to let the CPU pick because it's probably going to do better than me. But I like the pick of the 2 centers because those guys will develop into starting caliber players because they usually always do. And then we no longer have to worry about our offensive line whatsoever for the rest of this rebuild. And now we'll just have to see how the team looks here. We do have a new quarterback in Ty Simpson. And the CPU did pick a very nice right tackle that I will convert to center. And that should be a very good starting offensive line. Tight ends look good. could use another wide receiver. The defense is not the greatest in the world. We could use at least one safety and a corner. But we'll have to see where we're at in terms of total first round picks. Maybe we'll be able to snag a quarterback eventually. But I do want to try to get Joe Burrow. And it's going to be tough, but we do now have Ty Simpson, which makes that a whole lot easier. And we are going to get Burrow, I think. I'm going to try to get Chase as well. I don't think that we're going to be able to get Burrow and Chase in the same trade, but we will be able to do it separately. We should have a bunch of second round picks at our disposal as well. Maybe try to save a first round pick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we have Burrow and Chase on the team. And that should help out a lot. Now we need to figure out how to build this defense. I would love to get a really good corner and a really good safety. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is try to trade for Jesse Bates. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible, but it looks like it will be. See if I can get him from just third round picks. Probably not. It's kind of close though. Let me see. I should have a bunch of second round picks next year as well. So this might work. Boom. Okay. We didn't even have to trade a first round pick for Jesse Bates, which is great. So now I'm looking for a strong safety. Any good strong safeties worth trading for? Brian Branch, maybe, but he has a no trade clause. Kyle Hamilton, perhaps. We'll see if we're able to get him. I'm going to try to just give him second round picks. This is not going to work. What about a first? Just one first. And then 2 seconds. Almost there. We should be able to do it if we add a couple of third round picks. There we go. Alright, now we have Kyle Hamilton. Now we have the best safety duo in the league. Now I'm looking for linebackers. We're not going to be able to get Fred Warner because of the cap space. But we will be able to get Roquan. Let's see what our... Wow, we do have a ton of first round picks. Let me see if I can snag a second from them. Or maybe even like a late first. No, that's dumb. Let's see if I can snag a second though. Probably get a third. Perfect. I'd love to get another linebacker, and Schlesinger is young, and he usually does not take a ton to get. Let me see if I can get him with just a first and a third. Maybe a first and a second. Perfect. So now we have two really good linebackers. I'm going to put Schlesinger at the will. And then with this, all we really need is a really good cornerback or two, and then a really good edge rusher to replace Will McDonald. I'm going to put Sherwood as a Sam. The Sam linebacker position is not very important in the sim, so having him there should be just fine. So now I'm looking for a cornerback. I'm going to want to trade all of the first round picks I can, because I'm going all in on this season. It's this season or bust, really, for the run. So I'm trying to guarantee as much as I can. We're not going to be able to get Gonzalez because of the cap. Sertan would be nice. We will be able to get him. We are running out of first round picks, it looks like. We have a lot in next year's draft. Maybe Sertan is too much. Sauce Gardner is probably a better get for the price that we'd be paying. That's a whole lot better. Probably not going to work. Let me see if I can just throw in a random first round pick in the next year, and that gets accepted. I'd love to get one more cornerback, maybe Stingley. I'd love to get Stingley and Will Anderson, but he does have a no trade clause. Very close. This fourth round pick should do it. And now our cornerback core is complete. Let's take a look at this defense, and it just looks incredible. I'd love to get a really good left edge and maybe another defensive tackle. Let's take a look at the left edge. Maybe get Max Crosby if he's available. See if Aiden Hutchinson is able to be traded for. And it looks like he will be. Use Will McDonald as a piece there. Aiden Hutchinson's probably too expensive, so I'm going to have to pivot to Greg Rousseau. He develops very well in this game. So I'm going to see if McDonald and one first round pick will be able to do it. Probably not, but we'll check. Ooh, it's very close. I'll add in a fifth, and that will do it. We now have Greg Rousseau on the team. And I'd love to get another good defensive tackle. Let's see what we can get. might be able to finesse another player from the Bengals if we want to get Dexter Lawrence. We'll see if Derek Brown is available, and it looks like he will be. So we'll see if one first-round pick is enough, and it won't be. Probably too expensive. Probably looking more for a guy like Dexter. Let's see if I can get him with just one first-round pick. And we can't. I'm going to go a bit further down. I'm going to try to get Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams would be nice to pair next to Chris Jones. Both very similar players. And he's probably too expensive. Probably looking Mason Graham, maybe? A lot of these guys are a bit too expensive for what I was thinking. Huh. I'm going to see if I can get Peter Woods. I know he develops fairly well. Man. Maybe Jalen Carter. Nope, not going to work. Byron Murphy? Nope, he has a no-trade clause. Maybe I just have to pay for Dexter Lawrence. I think that's what I'm going to do. There we go. Dexter Lawrence is now a New York Jet. And now our defense looks absolutely crazy. So now we can either try to get another linebacker to fill up our Sam, or maybe an offensive lineman. I'll see if I can get a really good left tackle, like maybe Penei Sewell, but it's probably going to be too expensive if I had to guess. Let's see if we can get him with just one first round pick. No, we're probably going to have to add in another at least. Okay. We do get Penei Sewell, but we are now out of first round picks. So I think that this is going to have to do it for our team. And it looks really good. If this team doesn't go all the way, I honestly don't know what will. And we are officially out of first round picks. So all that's left is to lock in all these deals. So hopefully if we don't win it this year, we have a second try or maybe even a third try. But we're just going to have to sim ahead and see if it works out for us. And hopefully it does. Because if it's not this season, I don't know what season it would be, because I think that we've done all that we can do. We've built the best team that we possibly can with the New York Jets, with all of the first round picks that we got. And it is basically now or never. We have a 90 overall team. The only thing that's really lacking on the offense is the tight end position, which I don't mind because our wide receivers are very good. The defense is probably the best defense that has ever been seen in the National Football League. So all we have to do is sim to the playoffs. Hopefully we get the 1 seed. If we don't, hopefully we can just get through the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. I feel like we're making pretty good time right now. We're about 40 minutes in. And it just needs to be now or never. If this was a real team in real life, I don't know how you wouldn't win the Super Bowl. And if we don't make the playoffs here, I'm just gonna crash out because I don't know what else I could have done. You have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Dexter Lawrence, Chris Jones, Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner, Jesse Bates, Roquan Smith, Carson Schlesinger, Kyle Hamilton, and we go 16-1. We've lost one game all season. We get the 1 seed. I'm going to upgrade the players. Let's see what the lineup looks like real quick. Doesn't look like there's many injuries on the offense, which we love to see. Looking good. All right, so I'm just going to sim directly to the Super Bowl, and hopefully we're in it. We have a 92 overall team, and we only lost one game all season. And we are in the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks. Do we do it? Have we won the Super Bowl? Is the speed run over? And we did it. And that's a world record. Stop the time. It only took me about 41 minutes or so. I'll have to time it in post. But it only took me 41 minutes to win the Super Bowl as the New York Jets. So let's see how we did. Joe Burrow had 1,500 yards. 5,140 yards through the air, 47 touchdowns, only 6 picks. Breece Hall, 1,200 on the ground. Garrett Wilson had a huge year, best year of his career. Jamar Chase, pretty average for him. But I mean, when you have Joe Burrow up there, not the greatest season defensively for anyone in particular, but David Bailey, Greg Rousseau, Dexter Lawrence all had pretty good years. Kyle Hamilton had 5 picks. Sauce Gardner back on the Jets had 4 picks. Jesse Bates had 3. Stingley had 3. Schlesinger had 117 tackles. Just a great year all around. And the Jets have finally won the Super Bowl, and it only took 41 minutes.
This is what the final team looked like, if anyone out there was curious. We were able to turn the 1-16 first overall pick New York Jets into the 16-1 Super Bowl champion New York Jets in just one season. And overall, it only took 41 minutes and 32 seconds. So pretty good run, but definitely not optimized all the way. I'd love if anyone out there could go through this and try to beat my time. That'd be really great. So if you guys end up beating my run as the New York Jets, let me know. But until then, I'll see y'all next time.